Good morning. This morning I am very happy this morning to talk about a young man that whom is not only a true Christian man, but he's a very compassionate man, and he cares for mankind. And this morning I'm happy to endorse Hank Johnson, the 4th Congressional District Congressman. And as we all know, come Tuesday, July the 20th, we need to send Hank Johnson back to Congress to continue to do an excellent job as he is doing. Let me tell you a little bit about Hanks and what others are saying. In 2 terms as U.S. Representative for Georgia 4th Congressional District, Congressman Hank Johnson has distinguished himself as a substantial, hard-working legislator who delivers results. A member of the Transportation, Armed Services and Judiciary Committee, he chairs the Judiciary Subcommittee on Courts and Competition Policies that is responsible for antitrust legislation and oversee administrations of federal courts. After only 1 term in office, he was elected by his colleagues to serve in the House leadership as Southeast Regional Whip. In that capacity, he has played a key role in garnering support for health care reform, the Recovery Act, and legislation to reduce carbon emission to slow climate changes. And one of the earliest congressional supporters of President Barack Obama, Representative Johnson served as co-chairman of the Obama campaign in Georgia. And he has been officially endorsed for re-election by President Obama. A champion of fairness for working American families, he has introduced and co-sponsored and passed legislation to level the playing field and create opportunities for all. He has consistently supported legislation to ensure that all Americans have access to employment opportunities and affordable health care. He has championed consumer protection, education, civil liberties, and support for public safety. He was an outspoken critic of the Iraq War and abuse within the Bush Justice Department. Opposed to the Wall Street bailout, he championed efforts to redirect those funds to Main Street as part of the WHIP team. He played an important role in assembling votes for the historic Health Care Reform Act, the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act of 2010, with a heavy emphasis on quality constituent services. In addition to his Washington office, Hank made sure that he has direct access to the media, and the media have direct access to him at all times with his constituents directly, either via online tools such as Facebook, Twitter, and in 2010 was ranked the most influential House Democratic on Twitter. Prior to his election to Congress, Representative Johnson served 12 years as a DeKalb County Magistrate Judge, 5 years as a County Commissioner, and 3 years as a chair of the DeKalb County Budget Committee. Representative Johnson practiced civil and criminal law in the DeKalb County for 27 years. Outstanding support of public education. He is a graduate of the District of Columbia Public School, Clark College in Atlanta, and the Thurgood Marshall School of Law at Texas Southern University. Yes, Representative Johnson is our choice. He is a man that will continue to carry on the good deeds for the 4th Congressional District. Representative Johnson is married to the beautiful attorney Meredith Davis Johnson and has 2 lovely children. Just Monday of this week, the DeKalb County public official, Congressman Hank Johnson, has done a fantastic job for us, and he has shown nothing but professionalism and dignity, said Sheriff Brown of DeKalb County. It is important to send Hank back to Washington. District Attorney Keys Fleming, she's indicated she first met Hank when she was a young attorney, and indicated that Congressman Johnson is an advocate and a fighter for justice, says Keys. And he's made sure we in law enforcement have the resources we need to help protect the community. The DeKalb County Solicitor General Robert James says, I know Hank Johnson. He's a man who fights zealously for people's rights and advocate for justice. Hank Johnson is a proven leader. President Barack Obama has also endorsed Congressman Johnson, as have civil rights leader U.S. Representative John Lewis and the Reverend icon and legend Joseph Lottery, and former Atlanta Mayor Shirley Franklin and Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed has endorsed him. My fellow Americans, and my friends of the 4th Congressional District here in Georgia, on Tuesday, July the 20th, 2010, let's send Hank Johnson back to Washington. Hank Johnson, he's the right choice. And I'm here to tell you, during my time of knowing Brother Johnson, I've always known him to be a fair person. He's always listened to not only his advocates, but he's listened to the needs of the citizens of the 4th Congressional District. And I'm saying to you that there's much work yet to be done in Congress. We've sent Hank Johnson 2 terms, and let's send him a 3rd term, letting America know that Hank Johnson is not only the right choice, but he's the right person to be in Washington to represent the 4th Congressional District. Now, I don't want you to get confused with what the other candidates who are running against him. While I have nothing against them, but I want a man who don't need on-the-job training. And Hank Johnson does not need that. He's someone that you can call on when you need a hand. He's someone that even he knows that he can call on all of the 4th Congressional District people, and he will get support. He is the right choice. The right choice is Hank Johnson. Let's send Hank Johnson back to Washington, D.C. We can't afford to not send him back. With all of the bureaucracy that's in Washington, D.C., we must have someone that already has proven leadership, has already proven authority, someone who has already proven that he can get the job done. That's Hank Johnson. And oh yes, many of you may say, when did the ministry get involved into the political system? Well, if you turn your Bibles and open them up, you will find that we are supposed to pray for our legislators. We're supposed to pray for our politicians. And Hank Johnson is a proven politician. Hank Johnson is a good father. Hank Johnson is a good husband. Hank Johnson is a good friend. Hank Johnson is someone that you can lean on. Hank Johnson is someone when you need a friend. Hank Johnson is someone that will be right there. He'll be right there always for you. And I'm here to say, let's send Hank Johnson one again back to Washington, D.C. Not only will he represent the 4th Congressional District, but I will assure you that he's always making sure that he brings millions of dollars back into the 4th Congressional District. He is bringing jobs back into the 4th Congressional District. America, oh America, we are proud of Hank Johnson. We cannot afford not to have Hank Johnson once again as our 4th Congressional House of Representatives in Congress. Hank, we're proud of you. Keep up the good work. And I know that if it's God's will, you will return back to Washington, D.C. You can count on me at any time. I'm not worried about the constituents who may say that I'm playing politics. I'm not playing politics. What I'm doing is a moral and righteous thing to do. Hank, take care. And let's send Hank back to Washington. Thank you, and good night.